everyone can hear me? Is this good?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, not a professional speaker at all. So please, if I make any mistakes, bear with me. English is not my first language, it's my third language. So if I make a mistake, I apologize in advance. Carrie, you were amazing. I knew bits and pieces of the thing, but today, yeah, my mind was blown. It was amazing. Yeah, it was perfect. Thank you so much for sharing so much information. You know, it was worth it. Like, so yeah, of course, Nicole introduced me. You guys know my background. I would like to share today how, as just a busy to professional, how we got started in the real estate investing and how we jump around things and how we got like 16 properties right now, how we got to that. So me and my husband were always looking for a passive income. We are always attracted to that. So we went on and got into multi-level marketing business 10 years ago. We did really, really good in that. The only thing was the time and effort which it took didn't make that much of return on investment. So we thought we should look into something else. So that's how I got started looking online, searching for things where I can make passive income along with my busy career, like 2 busy jobs, 2 full-time jobs. So I got into looking and I stumbled upon biggerpockets.com. I'm sure everyone here knows that. It's an amazing website to learn a lot of new concepts. It is amazing a website for someone who is just starting out to talk to other investors there, you know, ask a lot of questions. So that's how I started. After about 3 or 4 months of just networking on biggerpockets.com, meeting a lot of San Diego people who are investing outside or in San Diego, and mingling, like networking with a lot of people, I also got to know about a book, which is like David Green's book, like in the investing, long distance investing. So that's the book which got me into out of state investing. But as any other normal person, I started looking into San Diego. And what happened was, when I started looking and when I started learning about deal analysis and cash flow and appreciation and all those cool words, the cash flow didn't make sense at that time. And I was not intelligent enough like Carrie to go ahead and look into creative financing. So what I did was I just looked into more options, like where I can just cash flow, not $1,000, not $2,000, just a little bit, $300, maybe $400 per month, so that at least when I'm investing a little bit, I'm also getting back some money. So that's how I started looking for other markets. It was really, really scary. It was really, really unpredictable when I talked to my husband about this concept, and he was like, oh my God, this is the scariest thing or the scariest idea you have come up with, and we are not doing anything about it. I'm like, okay, we should just look into it. We should take knowledge. We should consider networking and see how it goes. Sorry. Okay, again, not a professional speaker, sorry. Yeah, we just started out looking, analyzing the different location, analyzing different markets, and reaching out to people who have done that on Bigger Pockets and just learning from them. Like, how did you do that? How did you get started with long distance investing or out of state investing? And we got a little bit confidence after looking at deals and analyzing deals that we can do this, and we got into a turnkey property in Huntsville, Alabama to start with. Big mistake. We were very excited at that time when we closed on that property, but after 6 months we realized it was a big mistake. Okay, that's okay. I won't say mistake, big lesson learned. So yeah, we learned a big mistake or big lesson from that, and then we moved on. But that particular lesson taught us that it's very, very important to not analyze the deal on paper, but to follow up and follow through on those numbers. Like whether the numbers which make sense on paper, does it even make sense on the market? Like do a little bit of research on the market, do a little bit of research on the location itself, and just perfecting the process. So that was a big lesson. So we took another, so that first deal came up after like 8 or 9 months of research, like solid research. And then, yeah.
Could you tell us how much the property was and how much you put down on that one?
Our first turnkey property was 133K, and we put 20% down. And the interest rate was really good at that time, like in 2020, starting of 2020. Not that bad, like it was really good. So it cash flow really good on paper. Like the rents were really good. The turnkey provider promised us a lot of things, which was really good. So everything looked good on the paper. So there we were right. Now after that first property, we went ahead and did a solid 8 to 9 months research where we both understand that we have to have a very good team in place. So we made sure this time that we have a good realtor, we have a good property manager, we have a good contractor, we have a good handyman on our list, so that now the second time onwards we don't make the same mistakes. So second time we narrowed down a market, Indianapolis, Indiana, and we bought a property which was 65,000 duplex, like 2 sides. We inherited tenants on that, and it cash flowed amazing, like $600 per month. Everything was perfect, and we didn't make any mistake this time onwards. We learned from our mistake, and this was an amazing property. We still own that property. We rehabbed it and replaced the tenants, and we refinance it basically. So whatever money we put down, everything is out of the deal. So we call it a long-term BRRRR. Like we refinance it after an year. So now everything, whatever we put down in the property, everything is out, and we are just cash flowing in that one. So that was an amazing deal. So definitely putting together a team of realtor, contractor, handymans came really handy. So what took us, what took 2 property 2 years, after 2 property, we almost did 16 properties in 1.5 year. And thanks to my team, thanks to the solid people, what I have. So it was very, very easy after that, I think. Once you have right people in place, it all becomes cruise. Like you can just ride through it. That's what I figured it out. So after doing 16 properties, we also thought that the short-term rental management company that we have in Indianapolis was like subpar. It was not really good. And we were not very satisfied with the results which they were producing. Like again, the numbers on the paper, we're seeing something else, and what we were getting at the end of the day was something else. So we were not happy with them. So what we did was, we again started learning about the short-term rental management things. What should we do to just make sure that remotely we can manage all our short-term rentals, and we can make sure that each and every of our property is cash flowing, what it says on the paper. So we again started a lot of networking, looking for people who are doing self-management, just asking them questions. And now at this point, we have perfected our process so much that 80% of our management is just automation. Like 80% of the things are just automated, where we don't deal with the small things anymore, and we focus on the things like expanding our portfolio, which is very important, and focusing on our family life, of course, yeah. So we are very excited that we launched our management company. A lot of the ins, like 1.5 years back, and we also have hosting deals. But that's not the focus of our company. Like we love to help people in co-hosting deals, but what we are more excited about is teaching people how to own their own short-term rentals and manage their own short-term rentals. Because what we faced, we don't want everybody else to face the same things, like where they don't know what's happening with their management company, and they don't have any idea how to increase their cash flow. So we make sure that our students who join our coaching program know exactly from step 1 to step 2. And we who took 2 years to just bought 2 properties out of state, we cut that timeline down from 3 to 6 months for our students, so that they make sure they follow all the process correctly. They have a foolproof idea of what they are doing and what they are getting into. And that's how we started our journey, and that's how we are right now where we are.
Yeah. So I also invest out of state as well. How do you decide what state to look into? I was looking at somewhere in Michigan, some state that I'd never heard of. So how do you decide which one to go with?
So initially, when I researched a lot of states, I did look into Michigan, I did look into all the Midwest states. The basic 2 things what I was looking for was, number 1, cash flow. Like I should at least cash flow $300. And that time the numbers were very good for Indianapolis, Indiana. The other thing important which I was looking for, diversity. Diversity as in the kind of population which works. Just not the tech company, not the healthcare. I was focusing on everything. Like I will look at the population where it has like universities, hospitals, tech industries. I will also look at which has a big furniture industry maybe, or some kind of diversity in the population where I'm not just depending on one kind of jobs, where if the company just lays off the people, everything goes down. Like the whole economy is just dependent on that. So that was my main focus. And in Indianapolis, I found that it has a lot of diversity.
What if the population, you don't see a population grow? You kind of see them going.
No, I don't invest in those. Yeah. In fact, in Indianapolis too, there are counties which have those kind of graph, like the population dip, and we don't invest in those. So you have to see it over 10 period of time, like if the population is increasing or the decreasing.
Hi, Veera.
Hi.
So my question is, the property, you said you have 16 properties. So once you had your first one in Alabama, are all your other ones, did you leverage the management, the realtors and everything all in the same area in Indiana? So all those are there, or you set up that same nucleus in other states as you went along?
Yes, so right now we set up this same nucleus in Alabama as well as in Indianapolis. So we have good teams in,
Leveraging.
yes, both the cities, so that we can just expand on that.
Yeah, okay, thank you. I wasn't sure at the beginning
Yeah.
if that's how you were doing it. That was smart.
Thank you.
So Alabama is like a big hub for like defense industry. So I'm just kind of curious to like why it didn't like cash flow, like what was like the most.
Oh yeah, definitely. So the turnkey company which sold us that property, turnkey, they had an in-house contracting business where they did all the rehab by themselves. So what they did was the rehab was very, very low level, or it was very bad, wherein we started getting expenses as soon as we rented out the property. And that was a really bad idea. So yeah, that's why I told, lesson learned. We are never going back to a turnkey property. No, we sold it and we did a 1031 exchange, and we bought a 7-plex right there.
Woo! Can you tell us about that?
I wanted to ask, when you first started out and you're setting up and you're interviewing and talking to people, did you actually have to fly out to the properties, or did you buy things remotely? Like, how did that really shake out? Like, what
So
investment in?
as soon as we started investing, COVID hit. So we never saw any of our properties before we bought it. And just 4 months back, okay, another incident. Just 4 months back, my husband was laid off. Thank God that we had that futuristic vision to develop this business. He is not in a hurry to look for a job. So he just visited all the property after he laid off. He was like, okay, now I have just this thing to do. So he just visited all the property for the first time. And even then, all of our 6 rentals were occupied, like short-term rentals were occupied, so he was not able to visit them.
I think that's important for everybody to know that, because that takes a lot of research, and it takes a lot on your part to buy without sight unseen, And
Yes,
so
yeah.
I just
So
was curious if that's how you
Yes, so that's what we try to teach in our coaching program. Like, I have narrowed down the concept or the science of looking at a location and finding a path of progress. That's very important. Just by looking online, you can find as much information as you need. It's just that everything, whatever I'm talking, is available free online for you to go and research. It just takes time and effort, like we did. It took us 2 years to get where we are. So we are just cutting down time for other people, where we can tell them this is what we learned and this is how confident we are in the process, that we bought 16 properties without even looking at it.
And so because you said you automated a lot of stuff for the management for structure rentals, like what are probably like your top 3 favorite things for that?
Yeah, of course. The top 3, the number 1 will be the pricing automation, which we use. It's called Price Labs. It's really good. So yeah, of course, it takes away half of our work right then. The other thing which we use is messaging automation, like the PMS system. And the third will be the cleaning system, of course, which automates the messaging, and Turno, if you have heard about them. So we just use, the cleaners will receive the notification when the property is empty. So they will automatically go there, and once the project is done, they will notify us, like they'll complete the project. So that will send us a notification that the cleaning is done. And we will follow up the steps. Like, we have the staff in place who will follow up and follow through.
Can you tell us beginning to end how you acquired the 7 unit and some things that you've learned? Can you share that story with us?
The 1031 exchange, you mean?
Yes.
We acquired. Okay. So the biggest thing, how we acquired. Okay. So 1031 exchange, I'm sure a lot of people have an idea about it. So what 1031 exchange is, when you sell a property, and if you make a profit, there is a capital gain tax on it. And if you don't want to give the tax to government, like right then and there, if you want to avoid that, you do 1031 exchange, which is like you buy a property of the same value or more, and then you can invest, like reinvest that money into another property, buying another property or bigger one, so that you don't have to worry about the tax implications after that. So that's how we did 1031 exchange. There is a lot of companies which help us, like Carrie was talking about, you go to a professional. So we are not professional on that. So there is a company which we use, 1031exchange.com or something. If somebody needs it, I can definitely forward them the contact. I don't have it, like the name correct in my mind right now, but yeah, we use that company who help us out in that transaction. That's kind of an escrow company which keeps our money till we find. It takes 45 days. It gives us 45 days to find and narrow down a deal. Once you narrow down a deal, it gives you about 80 days, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, about 80 days or something to close on that deal. So once that is done, you can use the escrow money to buy the bigger property. That's a really good strategy if you are looking to expand or scale your portfolio, not using your own money and just using the equity what you have in current property.
If you don't mind, if you feel comfortable, can you give us those numbers? So for example, you 1031 exchange 100K into a 7 unit, which allowed us to cash flow $100. I'm just giving an example.
Okay, so you are asking me that how much profit we made once everything, the whole calculation was done, or sorry?
Yes, could you take us to, like, first of all, why did you decide to go into a 7 unit? Like, where did that come from instead of getting a duplex, for example? Why a 7 unit? Just tell us that story.
So when we narrowed down few of the properties, when we were looking for, it's a hard stop, like 45 days. They only give you 45 days to work on the deals. So you have to analyze deal, maybe 10 deals every day, just to make sure that you are getting into something good. So I found this 7plex. The owner was really, really motivated because it was on market for like 180 days or something. And I ran the numbers, and the numbers really made sense. The only problem was, it was owner managed. So when the property is owner managed, the financials are very tricky. Like, so the owner was taking cash from 3 of the tenants. Then he had a deal with one of the tenant that he will take $100 less just to do his landscaping. So all those kind of things, you know. So it was a tricky deal, but it was not an impossible deal. I thought if we can just get like a good offer on this, and if we can buy this will be really cash flowing. I know we have to replace the tenant, like maybe few tenants down the line, and maybe we have to work on increasing the rents and all that, but it was a value add deal. So that's why I was very attracted to it, and it literally makes $5,000 a month, and the cash flow from that one property is about $1,570 per month. So it was an amazing deal right then and there. And after like 2 years of it, we have almost replaced all the tenants. So all the rents are now market rents, and it's really amazing property.
I do out-of-state investing, but I'm curious how I saw the law of what's the word I'm looking for? Lack of faith in trusting, like finding a good contractor and trusting that they're going to do the work and operate a property without being on the either. So like so far, I've really only bought properties that need like maybe some new floors or some new paint. I still went there even to make sure that that was all done well. And I liked it, but I like wasn't anything out of my face. So I'm curious, like after buying turkey property, it sounds like you bought others that are value add or that are needed work. How are you finding a contractor that you trust enough that you don't need to go there to see the work done, and then two, verifying that the work was done well and that everything's happening on time, and then they're not rolling in at 11 a.m. and all this other stuff because that can happen with contractors.
Yeah, of course. So one of the things which I have learned after dealing with in real estate is if I am making money, I have to be willing to give money to others. And if you are willing to do that, you will have a processes in place, people in place whom you can trust and who will be like a big cheerleader for you. So what I do usually is when I start looking for a contractor in a new market first, I will go ahead and make a list of 10, 15, 20 contractors. I just make call with them, ask them questions through my experience, whatever questions I have, how they do this, what is your follow-up process, what do you do if something like broken pipe comes up, or all those questions, like contracting questions. I talk to them and see if I feel comfortable with that person. It's very important. It's just connection. Like if I see that the answers which he gives is genuine, or if he feels genuine, I always have that person on my list. And it's not just one. I have a list of 3 to 5 people always. I have a 5 contractor, I have a 5 handyman, I have a 5 electrician, I have a 5 plumber. So I'm never I'm never without anybody. Like I'm never without a list, like a backup of a backup. And when I start working with a contractor, I lay down a strict rules. Like this is what I expect, and this is what you have to deliver. And if this doesn't happen, our contract ends right there. I'm very strict about that. So I only pay 1/3 of the amount at the beginning of the contract, then 1/3 at the middle of the contract, and then 1/3 while everything is done. I need photos, pictures, and videos every week of how much work is done. I don't depend on the contractor. I have my person who is a walkthrough person whom I pay $50 or something per week, so that he or she can go and take photos, videos, and tell me what's going on there. So with both of these things in place, I'm pretty confident that what I'm looking, like the pictures and the videos I'm looking, and what is being done is in sync. Like that's my follow-up and follow-through process.
So, moving forward, what's your guys' plan with high interest rate, right? So I assume you guys need to. Oh, yes, okay. Good idea.
Sorry. So moving forward, what's your guys' plans? Because it seems like you guys are using DSCR loan to get. Okay. No, okay. With a high interest rate, what's your plan for the near future of getting properties?
So till now, we were using all our money. We never looked into creative financing. Yeah. Now I will be definitely eating Carrie's brain, like to get new ideas. Like I will be bugging her a lot. But yeah, we only did one DCSR loan till now, and we used our money. So we own everything, whatever we have, and we are looking into creative financing right now. We also have investors who are ready to invest with us, so we are looking into that option too.
I was gonna say, if other people want to reach out and have more information, how can they contact you?
Yeah, I can give my card. I also have my Blitz contact, but yeah, lordoftheins.com. That's our website. If you go there, you can book a time with us. You can reach me out to Facebook. I regularly check my Facebook, so DM me, personal message me, and I'll be available to answer any questions.
Awesome. Thank you.
I was gonna ask Carrie the same question.